All right, y'all. So we got the UFC 285 picks, man. Make sure you guys drop a like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're gonna get straight into it. First fight, guys, we have is Esteban Ribovics versus Loic Radzhabov. Now, Radzhabov is taking this fight on short notice. He is powerful. He's a powerful wrestler, decent technique. But Esteban is, was already preparing for a fight. He does have the finishing ability. All of his wins do come by finish, but he's making a UFC debut. So is Radvovic. So just off that, I'm just gonna lean towards Esteban. I know that Rybovic is or Esteban is he's the underdog, like plus 225, plus 220. But Loic, we're just gonna call him Loic. He's taking the fight on short notice, so I would think that because of the fact of him taking the fight on short notice, it's not gonna go his way. You guys can take that how you want to take it, but I'm just gonna go with Esteban Ribovics to win this fight. Next up, we got Farid Basharat versus Damon Blackshear. Now, right away, I'm just gonna go with Farid Basharat to win this fight. He just has more ways to win. The better striker, the better wrestler. The only thing that Blackshear has going for him is that he is a tough guy. It might be a little bit hard to finish him, but I do think that if Basharat just goes out there, he could set the tone wherever he wants to set it, whether that want to be wrestling or striking. The Basharat brothers are on a roll right now. They are both undefeated, I think. I think the other one, his name is Jareed Basharat. So yeah, they definitely do have a full package game. They more so like emulate that new age MMA style to where they could pretty much do everything. So I could just see Basharat doing pretty much whatever he wants to do. The only thing is that Blackshear just could be tough enough to hang around. And in his last fight, he did show the ability to be losing a fight and still be able to bounce back in the third round and make that fight a draw. So his toughness is what will keep him in the fight. But ultimately, I'm seeing Farid Basharat being able to get the victory very easily. Next up, we got Tabitha Ricci versus Jessica Penne. And now I'm just going to say off the rip Tabitha Ricci. And the reason being is she's too good on top. She's a great wrestler, dominant on top. None of them are really great strikers, but this fight should be playing out on the ground for the most part. Now Jessica Penne is, she does have the ability to win a fight by submission, but she only has won a fight by sub in once, probably over the past couple of years, past couple fights. And Ricci's very, very smart on top. Her last fight against Polyana Viana did show if she would be able to be safe versus a girl that has dangerous BJJ in Polyana Viana, who was coming out of Charles Oliveira's camp, Choose a Boss camp. So she was able to survive that. So I'm pretty sure she's going to be able to do the same thing to Jessica Penne. Once again, none of them are great strikers, so this fight's going to play out more on the ground. And I just don't see Jessica Penne being able to get Tabitha Ricci in anything of danger at all. If Polyana Viana couldn't do it, I definitely do not see Jessica Penne being able to do it. So yeah, definitely I'm going to go with Tabitha Ricci to dominate this fight. Next up, we got Cameron Simon versus Mana Martinez. Now, I like Cameron Simon to win this fight. I watched his last fight, which was against a short notice grappler. So some people might look at that and say, oh, Simon was losing a couple of those grappling exchanges, but it was a late notice fight for him too. So we can't just expect him to buzzsaw through somebody that he had to, take on such short notice, who was in danger to try and throw up a random submission and sub him. Nonetheless, Simon was able to get that late finish. He was able to outstrike him. He showed a lot of grit, determination, the ability to be able to grapple and hang in there. So I have him winning this fight. Now, Mana Martinez is tough. He does have a little bit of power on him, decent striker. But in terms of the grappling department, I just think that Simon would be more suited to implement his will there and still be better on the feet. Just a lot more ways to win for Simon, I think, over Mana. The only thing that Mana has is obviously he's tough. He could make the fight kind of weird, kind of gritty, but I still do see Simon being able to get the victory in this fight. Next fight up we got is Ian Gary versus Kanan Song. Now I'm gonna go with Ian Gary to win this fight. Just in terms of this fight is gonna be on, standing on the feet for the majority of the fight. Neither guy is really an insane wrestler. Neither guy's gonna try to get the fight to the ground. And Ian Gary is just a better striker. His counter striking is just on a different type of level. In terms of where Kanan Songs is. So I just definitely see Ian Gary being able to just outstrike him on the feet, which is exactly where the fight is going to play out. The only thing that could be slightly scary is that Ian Gary has been getting hit a little bit in his recent fights. But what I'm hoping for is that over time he gets better with that guard, understanding that, he can't just have his chin out there, which he doesn't leave his chin out there, but he's hit more often than you would like to see from a guy that's young, up and coming. So I'm definitely gonna go with Ian Gary for the pick. I don't think that Kanan Song has the striking ability or even the wrestling ability to be able to beat Ian Gary. So Ian Gary should be able to get this win very easily. Next fight up we got is Julian Marquez versus Marc Andre Barriault. And honestly, I'm gonna go with Julian Marquez to win this fight. Lately his BJJ has been working out for him. His last couple of wins has come by submission. Marc Andre Barriault doesn't really have any quality wins. He has like a win over Jordan Wright and Dolce Louis Gambala is like his most two recent wins, which is not really something that you could really sit there and say, oh my goodness, those are great quality wins. And then outside of that, he has a ton of losses. Neither guy's really a great striker, or neither guy's gonna really implement wrestling. So just off of that, I'm gonna go with Julian Marquez to win the fight. I could see him maybe getting a submission or maybe being able to hang out around on the feet a little bit longer than Marc Andre Barriault can. Maybe Marc Andre Barriault may be a slightly better striker in a decent manner, but he just doesn't have any quality wins. He loses a lot. I just can't see him being able to stop that BJJ game of Julian Marquez. I think he might be able to snatch something up. So I could got Julian Marquez winning that fight. Next up, we got Viviane Araújo versus Amanda Ribas. I think this is going to be a close fight, but I think Vivi's strength is going to be the difference. Both girls actually have the ability to wrestle. Both girls have great takedown defense. Amanda Ribas is a little bit safer on the feet. She's hit a little less, but she's not she's not as accurate as Vivi is on the feet. And I think that is going to be the only difference that can really go on in this fight. I think they're almost evenly matched. I just think that Vivi might have a slight strength advantage, and that could play in her favor. Ribas is good with the takedown defense, as they both are. But like I said before, man, the fight is just so close that I could just see that Vivi's strength is going to be the difference in the fight. But yeah, there's not really much more to say about it because they're pretty much even on the line. The only thing is that Amanda's a little bit more safer on the feet than Vivi, but she's less accurate. So the fight is kind of just like down the line to me. But, I'm going to lean towards Vivi just simply because of the strength factor. I think that's, you have to find those little details that can make the difference in the fight. And I think that's what it'll be. So I got Viviane Araújo winning this fight. Next up, we got Derek Brunson versus Dricus du Plessis. Now, this fight, I've been back and forth on it so much because, all right, put it like this, right? Derek Brunson has the ability to get the fight down to the ground against a guy like Dricus du Plessis, who has a 50% takedown defense. Like, Dricus du Plessis can definitely be taken down. But the thing about it is that Dricus does have power, and when Brunson does get hurt, he does tend to start to reach and put himself in harm's way. Because, the people that he's been fighting recently haven't really been wrestlers like Darren Till, Kevin Holland. Those guys are not wrestlers. So Brunson has done his job properly. Shabazi, and he's done his job properly in terms of winning those fights against those guys that are not wrestlers. But the problem with Dricus du Plessis is that he likes to implement wrestling himself. Do I see him being able to get a takedown on Derek Brunson? No. But I could see him hurting Derek Brunson and putting Derek Brunson in a position where he's just going to start to reach, which he usually does when he gets hurt. He's going to start to reach for those takedowns. Could he get it on du Plessis? Yes, because du Plessis has such a low takedown defense. So the fight is kind of 50-50 for me. I'm not going to lie. I can see a way that both guys can win this fight. But my heart wants to say Brunson because I think he should win the fight. But I'm going to lean towards 51-49. I'm going to lean towards Dricus du Plessis to win the fight only because of that power advantage he has. And Brunson has been finished so many times in his career that, do I want to trust his chin against a young up-and-comer who's very wild, very aggressive, can just really crack chin right there, and still have the ability to wrestle somewhat and have the ability to lock in some submissions? So I'm going to 51% lean towards Dricus du Plessis, but I think it's going to be a closer fight than people are crediting Brunson for. So that's my assessment on that fight. Next fight we got is Cody Garbrandt versus Trevin Jones. And right off the rip, this fight's going to go exactly how Cody Garbrandt wants this fight to go. Which is more times than not, he tries to go for the knockout. He's not high volume. He's low volume. So is he going to put his chin in a way to get stopped by Trevin Jones? Because Trevin Jones is not high volume himself either. But he does have a bit of power in his punches. So how is this fight going to go? I honestly do not know. I'm rooting for Cody Garbrandt, but I like, for me to sit here and confidently pick him would be crazy. I think it's going to be more so of another fight where I'm going to say 51-49. I'm going to go Cody Garbrandt to win the fight. Trevin Jones is taking the fight on short notice. He does have a bit of ability to wrestle, but Cody Garbrandt has never really been taken down, never really been controlled. His issue has been his fight IQ in these firefights where he just pretty much leaves his chin out there, and it's like pretty much who can get there first. Even when he knocked out Rafael Sunsao, his chin was pretty much just out there, but he just threw a bomb at the ending of a round and was able to catch Sunsao with a knockout punch. So honestly, like 51-49, but I could see Cody putting himself in a position to be knocked out. And I could also see him getting a finish against a guy who's not really a high volume striker anyways, and doesn't have insane abilities to get takedowns on a guy like Cody. So yeah, I'm going to go 51% Cody Garbrandt to win this fight. Next up, we got the debut of Bo Nickel going up against Jamie Pickett. And this fight is going to be an absolute mess. This is going to be a literal, they might have to call the ambulance. And the reason why I say is because Jamie Pickett is a guy that as soon as you put any kind of pressure on him, he is going to fold. I think he thinks this is a kickboxing match or a chess game where we have to sit out on the outside and pick. He's definitely going to get pushed back by Bo Nickel. And a guy like Jamie Pickett, who's been subbed 3 times, stopped, like KO'd twice, is very live to be finished again. And with a guy like Bo Nickel, who has that punching power and an insane ability to wrestle against a guy like Jamie Pickett that does not have takedown defense at all, this is not going to look good for Jamie Pickett at all. He's going to be badly hurt. I'm not wishing that upon him, but I think, I don't want to say badly hurt. I want to say he's going to be dominated. We hope that these fighters go into the octagon, whether they win, lose, or draw, they're not coming out with a severe injury, but sometimes that is the case. But I can see Bo Nickel just absolutely dominating this fight and getting a finish inside the first round very quickly too. That's the reason, there's a reason why he's minus 1,500. Usually I don't like to try to bank, look at the odds, but there's a clear cut reason why he's minus 1,500. He was minus 1,400. Now he's minus 1,500. And that's just on DraftKings alone. I'm not sure what other sportsbook have, for Bo Nickel's odds, but I'm telling you right now, it's through the roof and it's for a reason. So yeah, that's the way how I'm looking at that fight going on. And on to the next. Next up, we got Jalen Turner versus Mateusz Gamrot. And now this fight should be one of the best fights on the card by far. It's a lightweight fight, so anytime you see lightweight fights with ranked fighters, you're going to get one of the best fights of the night, more times than not. You got a guy like Gamrot that's not going to stop trying to win the fight. I love watching Gamrot fight. No matter what happens in it, I love to watch Mateusz Gamrot fight. And Jalen Turner is in that same manner too. This is a guy that's on a 5-fight finish streak with subs and knockouts. So he's getting it done from all angles. He has 2 victories out of those 5 wins against undefeated fighters. So Jalen Turner is definitely the dark horse of the lightweight division. And this kind of feels like when Charles Oliveira was on his rise up the rankings. And people, didn't know too much about him other than the hardcores. And I feel like that's probably what's going to happen for Jalen Turner now. I'm going to lean towards him to win this fight, but once again, another 51%, 49, and only because of the fact that Mateusz Gamrot is taking this fight on short notice. He's definitely relentless with the takedowns, but I feel like it's way more likely for him to put himself in harm's way taking a fight on short notice against a guy who's so dangerous versus if he would have had a full camp. If it was a full camp, I think that Mateusz Gamrot would be a lot more safer to win the fight. But it wouldn't change the fact that Jalen Turner is dangerous. He has the ability to get a sub. He has the ability to get a knockout. And he's 6'3" with length and with the reach advantage, who understands how to use that reach advantage. Gamrot's going to be shooting from a distance. It's going to be interesting to see how this fight plays out. But I'm going to lean with Jalen Turner. My heart's saying to go with Jalen Turner, so I'm going to lean with him on this one. If I was a betting man, maybe Gamrot, but he's taking the fight on short notice, so I'm not too confident to sit there and pick Gamrot, man. And, it is what it is. He kind of let me down when he fought Dariush, so I'm going to go with that a little bit. But, just based on the facts of this fight, short notice for Gamrot against a guy who's on a 5-fight win streak, has 2 finishes over 2 different opponents that were undefeated. So I'm just going to go with Jalen Turner. If it was a full camp for Gamrot, maybe not. But I'm going with Jalen Turner for this fight. Next fight up, we got Shavkat Ramonov versus Jeff Neal. Now, Shavkat should win this fight for sure. The thing is that Jeff Neal is tough. He has good takedown defense. He has, good enough striking, just about at an even differential to where he can definitely He can definitely hang around. He could definitely be tough. But look, man, the fact that Jeff Neal lost to Neil Magny and Shavkat dominated Neil Magny, yes, I am going to play MMA math with Shavkat. He's just too good, man. He's too good on the feet. He's too good on top. He's too good with the wrestling. There's too many ways for Shavkat to win this fight. And his abilities is going to be just much, much more than just Jeff Neal trying to play defense. Like the way how Gamrot kind of lost to Dariush, some people could see it playing on like that. The difference is that, um, Jeff Neal just does not have the grappling ability like how Dariush does in terms of the fight, comparing those two fights. So I just don't see him, even though he has a great takedown defense at 85%, I just don't see him being able to stop Shavkat from doing what he wants to do. There's just too many ways for Shavkat to win. And I think that Jeff Neal is going to be on the defense for the majority of the fight. And that should be enough for Shavkat to win the fight. I think there's even a possibility he could win this fight by finish, man. I truly, truly believe that. So definitely going to go with Shavkat Rakhmonov to win this fight, man. Next up, we got Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso in a co-main event for the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship. And this is going to be a terrible, terrible night for Alexa Grasso. She's ranked number 6. The only reason she's getting this fight because Valentina had already beaten everybody in that, in the upper part of the division, other than like Manon Fiorot, who may be next. But honestly, the fact that Alexa Grasso once fought at 115 and, Valentina fought at 135, she could never make 115 even if she tried. This is not going to go well for Alexa Grasso. The difference is going to come in with the wrestling, which Alexa Grasso does not have enough takedown defense to be able to stop Valentina from getting the fight to the ground. And even on the feet, Valentina is just way too technical. And the only thing that Alexa Grasso has going for her is her boxing. And that's just not going to be enough to beat Valentina. Maybe if Alexa Grasso had some form of grappling and she was strong, she would have some type of possibility to win the fight. Kind of like how Talia Santos was able to do pretty decent versus versus Valentina. Even I'm forgetting her name, but there was another another opponent that Valentina went against that she was able to do pretty decent against her because of a bit of grappling, but ultimately Valentina was able to win that fight. So yeah, I see Valentina dominating this fight wherever she wants to dominate it. I think she's gonna probably go towards her wrestling because Alexa Grasso is a pretty decent boxer, but I think Valentina is just way too good everywhere. And I can see her getting a stoppage victory in this fight. So we got Valentina taking the victory in the co-main event. Last but not least, we got the return of the GOAT, Johnny Bones Jones, going up against Ciryl Gane for the UFC Heavyweight Championship, man. And honestly, I'm going to keep this somewhat more so, maybe not simple. All right, I'll break it down like this, right? John Jones has not been in the octagon for 3 years, and we all know what happened the last time we saw him. We saw him at 205 versus Dominic Reyes, and I'm not going to lie, guys, when I watched that fight, I thought that I just witnessed John Jones lose for the first time in my life. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, I don't want to be biased. I thought that John Jones lost that fight. I think that John Jones lost the fight. I think it was clear that he lost the first 3 rounds. But there's a weird trend I'm seeing, like, even with the Volk fight, where it's like, if people finish a fight strong, all of a sudden it just changes the whole trajectory of the fight, where it's like, it's a round by round base here. So if we have a guy winning the first 3 rounds, there's no reason why the card should be any different. But sticking to this fight, the last time we saw John Jones, he did not look good against Dominic Reyes. We see what happened to Dominic Reyes since then. That was at 205. This is now at heavyweight. And the problem is that Ciryl Gane is very, very technical on the feet, playing that point game, which obviously so is John Jones. High fight IQ, can play that game too. But here's where I think the difference of the fight will come in. I think just John Jones' ability to wrestle, man. Like, it doesn't matter how Francis Ngannou was able to do it, because of the fact that Francis had such dangerous knockout power that obviously Gane had to be worried about that. So the takedowns would be a little bit easier. I think that the fact that John Jones is an accomplished wrestler does have that added strength. With Ciryl Gane having such a bad takedown defense, which he's never really fought any wrestlers. He's been pretty much fighting strikers the whole time he's been in the heavyweight division. No one's been trying to take down Ciryl Gane at all. So I feel like now that John Jones is there, it's a clear path to victory for him to win the fight. Yes, Ciryl Gane can be technical on the feet, but so can John Jones. So it's not really, you know what I mean? Like, we've seen John Jones go against a ton of people that are super technical on the feet, have power, ton of legends. So that shouldn't be some type of long, drawn out debate. The wrestling is what's going to make the difference. If John Jones can get the takedowns, he's gonna win this fight for sure. If he can't get the takedowns, the fight's gonna get weird for sure. Now all of a sudden you're on the feet, you're forced to stand. It can get 100% weird, but I'm gonna go with the guy that has more ways to win. And when we saw Cyril Gane go against a guy that was trying to wrestle him in Ngannou, who's not even a wrestler, he got out wrestled badly and made a ton of mistakes on the ground. So there's just not enough fight time for Cyril Gane on the floor to where he can have that, you know, that IQ to notice like, okay, don't do this or don't do that on the floor against an accomplished wrestler. There's just not enough for that going on for him in the octagon. He's fought a ton of strikers versus John Jones has seen it all in the octagon. So I'm going John Jones to win this card or to win this fight in the main event and become the heavyweight champion and pretty much solidify himself as a GOAT. He's already the GOAT, but this is just going to make it like, all right, man, like he's the youngest champion ever. Now he's a 2-division champion. Like there's just not much to be talked about here. So that is going to do it for the video, guys. Let me know your picks down below in the comment section. That's all I want to see. I just want to see y'all picks. Or who do you guys think I was bugging about? Whatever. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And yeah, man. Hey, more than anything else, guys, just enjoy the card. Have some fun. If you're going to bet responsibly. Don't be dumb. And yeah, let's all enjoy this card, man. It should be great. The return of John Jones. Great card, stacked card. And I'll catch you guys in the next video, man. Peace.